Little review tonight, and tonight we've got the Backroad by Urban Shepherd. If you follow my channel, you'll have seen a recent review on their country boot. Worn these for a couple of months, holding up really well with the Vibram mini lug sole. I've done a 1 month update on those if you want to check that out, but more to come in the future on those. But really nice boots, incredible price point. And Urban Shepherd, after seeing that review, they were kind enough to reach out and offer another pair for review. So I went for their cheapest offering, which is €10 less than this at €145. And these are, as I say, the Backroads. So the Backroad boot is their take on the sort of American work boot style. A few different design cues which we'll get into in a minute over the country boots, but I think probably the similarities to something like the Red Wing Beckman are immediately apparent. Simple round toe, no toe cap, nice sort of traditionally constructed boot with a rubber sole, interesting rubber sole, and we'll get onto that as well. But yeah, really nice boots, incredible price point again, and yeah, so I guess we better get into it. So in terms of their build, very similar leathers to the country. Now Urban Shepherd use a single type of leather. It's a very waxy leather. On all their boots it's Portuguese calfskin, water resistant, and something they describe as a split, it is a split leather. So I did have to chat to them to understand what that meant. And effectively, if you look at the normal sort of shiny side of the leather, that is cut away from what you'd call the sort of the nubuck or the rough outside. So effectively, it's sort of like it is a rough out leather. But it doesn't have a reversed face, if you will. It seems to weather really well and wear really well. It seems pretty tough, very waxy. My understanding is it's waxed. I think it's waxed twice at the tannery, and once constructed they wax the boots again. So a very nicely impregnated boot with good waterproofing and pretty robust. I found that the country boots here, over time they've started to darken a little bit where they get the sort of the wear patterns. Certainly sort of on the inside of the heel there, you can see it sort of going sort of a concrete sort of brown. So they do pick up quite a nice patina over time. Not had to treat these, obviously they're only a couple of months old, but yeah, they're doing really well. So in terms of the designs, as I say, a more traditional American style, slightly more tapered toe box, because on the countries it was really quite boxy, quite wide until the end there. Much more conventional look. They've also disposed of their sort of red stitch and gone with a more traditional and subtle black stitch, so triple stitched on the front there, double on the back, and then up the heel stay. 270 degrees welt, which gives it a little bit of a smarter look because you're not having the stitch around the back, so you can get a sort of lower profile on the heel unit there. And probably the most notable feature of this boot is the sole. So with the countries and a lot of their other models, they're using a Vibram mini lug. On these, this is recycled truck tyre. Looking at it, I'm guessing it must be sort of reconstituted, so sort of milled down and then sort of remolded, because that doesn't look like a traditional truck tyre pattern to me. I had expected to sort of almost see a recognisable truck tyre tread on it, but I'm guessing that is actually reconstituted and rebuilt. But that's really just interesting in itself. Apparently it keeps the price down, but also obviously environmentally friendly, and they also note the longevity on wear on those, which is an interesting point because a pair of running shoes I've been using for the last 2 years, probably done well over 500 miles on them. They actually have a Continental rubber on the sole, and Continental obviously build car tyres and truck tyres, so you know it has been sort of noted that that's a really good compound to use. So I'm hoping this does wear very nicely. As you can see, the welted stitch comes all the way through. You've got a a nailed on heel and a few extra nails there just to hold the toe construction together. Yeah, very nicely put together. So in terms of size, one of my main issues with the country boots, and I think something that people have found quite a lot with the Urban Shepherd lasts, is that they do run small. I think we're quite used to discussions over Red Wings running big. It's not normal that sort of work boots are found to be running small. And the 42s I got, which is a UK 8 in the country boots, got it to work. That is my true to size fit. Largely it worked out okay for me because this, as I say, the toe is very, very boxy. So if your toes are quite near the end there, the shape is a little bit more forgiving, but only just. And I don't think I'm a large 8, and it's sort of only just after a little bit of break-in, thin pair of socks. 8 was fine for me, but I did wonder about what sizing up would feel like. So for this second pair, when Urban Shepherd offered me this opportunity to try these out, I looked at their sizing chart. They've now got a sizing chart online. I think I'm between sizes, but I thought as a point of principle for the purposes of review, I must size up. Now, first try on with these, much more generously sized. It's a whole size up. I could have probably gone with a half size, but unfortunately Urban Shepherd don't do half sizes. But I think these are going to work out to be a much more comfortable fit, and they will allow a thicker sock, which is great because we're in the middle of winter. Also worth pointing out, these aren't lined, and we'll have a look at that in a minute with the close-ups. So these, I think, are going to work out just fine for me. I think everyone, I'd recommend just check out their sizing chart and being open-minded to sizing up, because the lasts they're using aren't particularly generous, and I think, yeah, sizing up will help most people get that fit. So I think probably what we'll do is we'll get in for some close-ups and then we'll wrap the video up. Coming in for a few close-ups of the boots, starting off with the upper. As I say, this is a waxed Portuguese calf skin. It's a split leather, so the face of the leather has been taken off, I assume to be used in other construction, but the boots here sort of have effectively what feels and looks like a waxed sort of rough out. The Countryman boots have fared really well. I think it's a good leather for the price. The sole, as I say, is this recycled truck tire. I'm assuming it's been sort of remoulded. This tread pattern doesn't look like straight off a truck, but yeah, I think this will wear quite nicely. Stitched all the way around. It's a welt construction, nails on the front, heel cap nailed on there, again the recycled truck tire. The rest of that's built up with a leather stack, where the forefoot is constructed with a leather welt at the top and then another rubber layer through the middle there. What I found on all the Urban Shepherd boots is the edges are really, really nicely burnished, really nicely waxed, nicely finished. It looks good. As I said, the welt construction obviously allows for resoling, but it's a 270-degree welt, so it's just going around from the rear quarter there all the way around back to the same point over here, which just gives a lower profile look at the heel there, just a little bit smarter. You'll see that on a more formal shoe often. The stitch really nicely sort of executed, nice and even, all looks pretty good. As I say, the stitching on these has gone for a traditional black stitch as opposed to the red that we found on the country boots. I think they're going for a little bit more of a traditional look, something a bit more like the Beckman, which I think it bears some real similarities to all round. Got a triple stitch as it meets the vamp, and a double stitch on the rear there with another double stitch up the heel stay. Little rivets for strength up at the front here. I did worry about those on the countries, whether that would actually create a sort of pressure point for your toes, but haven't felt those at all. Nice sort of brassed eyelets. This has come with a sort of thinner brown waxed lace, which looks to be quite good quality. The laces on the country boots weren't particularly great, but that's often where any boot brand can fall over, really. Just coming in for a look at the inside. Inside we've got the padded insole, single density. Let's pop that out. Single density padded insole with a leather top there with a bit of branding. Working really well on the country boots, and then below that you've got a sort of fiberboard or pour-on insole, and underneath you've got a laid cork midsole with a shank, so all nicely traditionally made, all the sort of conventional values there. The cork midsole allows the boot to shape to your foot, and obviously the shank gives you that stability and strength between the heel and the forefoot. As I say, on these it's not lined as the country boot was, which allows you to see the other side of the leather, and it's got sort of almost a sort of a finished texture to it. I'm not sure whether that's a piece of fabric sort of overlaid on it or just some sort of corrected leather effect, but yeah, I mean, I found this leather to be pretty serviceable and pretty good. On the heel there you've got a nice little suede cap, which I think is really nice. Just helps your heel find its place in there and sort of sit comfortably. I think that's quite a nice feature. A little bit of stitching up the back, and along top you've got it feels to be, I think that's probably genuine leather, just a bit of piping just to finish that all off. The tongue isn't a bellows tongue, or it's not a deep bellows tongue. Goes up to the fourth eyelet there, which I think is a little bit more than the country boots actually. So have a look over here. Yeah, the country boots, they only went up to the second eyelet, so that's a little bit nicer actually. I think a bellows tongue's always good on a sort of work or heritage boot, keeps the dust and dirt out of your shoe. Yeah, nicely put together. Okay, well that pretty much brings us to the end of the review. As I've said before, the price point on Urban Shepherd boots is exceptional. The country boots, which I've reviewed in the past, coming at €155, 145 for the Backroads here. I think that's their cheapest boot. I think they do have sort of sample sales and stuff like that, but you know, these prices are sort of pretty much half what you'd be paying for Red Wings. As I say, this is very much akin to a Beckman. Obviously I'll report back and tell you how I find it to fit and wear in the first month or so, and then update over time as I wear it a bit more. But you know, very, very pleased with the country boots here. They've worn really well. They have the quality features that you'd expect of any sort of boot, the brand name soles, the Vibram lug there, and really nicely made, really no complaints at all. So I expect good things from these. Of course I'll update you. If you haven't seen my channel before, please check it out. Lots of boot reviews, some small names like Urban Shepherd, some of the bigger names like Red Wing, lots and lots of denim content as well, Japanese denim, that sort of stuff, bit of EDC, fountain pens and pen knives, bit of cycling, bit of guitar. Do check it out, we might share some other common interests. If you thought this video was useful, please give it a thumbs up. If you've had any experience with Urban Shepherd boots, whether it's this model or any of the other models, please let me know how you found them, especially in terms of fit, because I'd be really interested to know your experiences, but I'm certainly of the mind that sizing up has been a good thing for me, and these are going to be a very comfortable fit with a pair of thick socks. Yeah, of course subscribe, like the video, and that's about it. Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye.